Introduction. Your health and wealth improves by a proper blend of spiritual and material principles. What are these principles? In this ebook, we try to understand these enigmatic principles of life. Dan Johnson, http://danjmarketing.com. Chapter 1. The Law of Attraction, What It Really Is and What It Is Not. Summary. Let us begin by understanding what the law of attraction really is all about. The law of attraction, what it really is and what it is not. It is somewhat amazing to see how much talk there is about the law of attraction and how few people actually know about what it is. The law of attraction is not a spell that you use and things begin happening that way. It is not that you chant like begets like 1,000 times a day and see things happening the way you want. If the law of attraction were so simple, we would have already witnessed the world as a much better place by now. People explain the law of attraction in various ways. The commonest definition you will find will be something like this: if you strongly believe that something should happen, it will certainly happen. A sentence couldn't be any simpler, but you will immediately realize that this raises more questions than it answers. The question of desires is the most important. Is it only what we desire and think about strongly that will happen? Or will things that we don't desire also happen if we somehow think strongly about them? Then there is also the question of internal conflict of thoughts. At times, there could be situations where we think equally in both ways. For example, we may think that a job could be ours or not. So how do we apply the law of attraction in such a case? Or what do we do when we are thinking strongly about something and someone else is thinking strongly about the exact opposite thing? What will happen in that case? In order to be able to reply all these questions, it is important to first understand what the law of attraction really says. Notwithstanding the various ways in which the law of attraction has been defined, we can break things down in the following 4 elements: Registered, we must know exactly what we want. Registered, we must begin a thought process for it, and begin vociferously asking the universe to make it happen. Registered, we must then visualize a situation wherein we already have what we are hankering for, and we must live in that reality. Registered, at the same time, we must not attach ourselves to what might happen. We must only think about having it. There is no room for apprehension. In this ebook, we are going to expose various aspects of the law of attraction and see how we can apply it in one of the most important areas of our lives. Attracting money. Can one really become rich by just thinking vividly about it? We need to understand the law better and learn how to implement it in order to get these answers. Chapter 2, Understanding the Secret. Summary. You must have heard about the bestseller The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Here's a deeper look at it and how it can be used to improve our lives. Understanding the Secret. Have you read or watched The Secret? http://www.thesecret.tv/. This is the secret. Thoughts create things. What things make up your life? Are they things you love or things you'd rather change? Do you often feel that you'd be happy if only? If only you had the job, if only you had that amount of money, if only you had that perfect body. Or perhaps someday wonderful things are coming your way, but they haven't happened yet. Once you master the secret, you will never make the mistake of feeling that way again. That's right. It's a mistake. Your thoughts have been creating the life you've had so far. And thoughts can be changed. Thoughts of success, abundance, happiness, beauty, strength, and health energize us. We begin to resonate with these things. We take positive, fruitful action which feels effortless. We attract people who are willing to open up doors, people who can teach us what we need to know, people with the resources we need. This is called the law of attraction. The secret is nothing less than the science of how thought interacts with quantum physics to create our experiences. You don't even have to understand it. You just have to do it. Try it out today. Start small. Start with something that you won't talk yourself out of. Do you want a great relationship with your boss? Sit down. Picture what that looks like. Picture it in every intimate detail. What does it feel like? Feel those feelings. Be thankful today that you have such a great relationship with your boss. Then claim it. Begin acting as a great relationship with your boss is how it is, always has been, and always will be. Pretend if you have to. Smile. Speak with the confidence someone with a great relationship with his boss has. Watch what happens. Then prepare to be excited. Chapter 3, Mindset and Management. Summary. Personal development is extremely crucial to internet marketing. If you want to build your business, believe in your business. Mindset and management. Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you staring at a long list of tasks and new terminology, from so to social bookmarking? Is some nagging voice in the back of your head trying to tell you, as you stare at the World Wide Web, that this is not your grandfather's way of making money, so how true could it be? Well, you're right about part of it. This isn't your grandfather's way. This is your way, and it's going to be fantastic. Every journey, it is said, begins at the first step. Your first step is to work on you. Before you buy hosting, before you load up your web page, before you build your list, you have to know how to get your head in the game and how to keep it there. You're taking a leap of faith into a vast, wild territory that changes every single day. You're one drop in a shifting sea. In order to stand out, you need confidence. You need personal development. You need to apply the secret. The secret is just this: everything begins with a thought. Thoughts lead to actions, which leads to the results of those actions made manifest in your life. The Orville brothers had a thought about a flying machine. They took the action of sitting down to design their machine and then going out to test it. They manifested the ability for you to go to an airport and be anywhere in the whole world in a matter of hours. And you thought you were sailing uncharted waters. Thoughts like, I can't do this won't work, well, I'll give it a shot, but if it doesn't work out I guess I've got my day job to fall back on, lead only to two kinds of actions. Inaction or inefficient action. Either you talk yourself out of starting, or you spin your wheels reading email after email and surfing website after website without ever really getting your feet wet. As a result, your life fails to manifest a working internet business that gives you the freedom you really want. Compare this to positive, supercharged thoughts like, nothing's going to stop me. I have every tool I need. Other people have done this and so can I. I'm totally committed. I won't hold back. I've got a plan. Thoughts like this lead to you taking appropriate action. You create that product. You build that list. You stop fretting over the technicalities and the can't do and get creative about the can do. You start outsourcing anything you can't deal with on your own. You keep learning. You polish up your management skills and you keep your mind in the right place, and little by little, your small efforts turn into something much bigger, the manifestation of a new life. Chapter 4, Pivoting Your Thought Process. Summary. So how do you go about developing this kind of thought process, where you think you are the center of the universe and everything just exists in your frame of reference? Pivoting your thought process. In order to create the subjective thought process that the law of attraction demands of you, it is very important that you create the right frame of reference. You have to be like the person seeing everything in a dream. Your perceived reality is actually the things that are happening in your frame of reference, which is just another name for your consciousness. But, you need to put a finger on this consciousness. You need to anchor it. This aspect, anchoring your conscious mind, is known as pivoting your thought process. When you begin pivoting your thought process, the primary requirement is to have a fixed point from where you can begin. Usually, this fixed point is your resolve, your intention, your motive, your purpose. For example, if you really need to start a business, Your resolution to do that is your pivot. The stronger you resolve to achieve that, the more profound your pivot will be. That is why people who have stronger resolutions are able to achieve better things than people who don't have a very strong mindset to achieve something. If you consider your desire as your pivot and see everything from that perspective, everything begins falling into place. You feel as though everything that's happening is happening as a means of bringing you closer to your desire. In the above instance, if your desire to start a business is your pivot, then you feel as though everything happening in your life is taking you one step closer toward realizing your dreams. This includes the positives as well as negatives. If you suddenly meet someone, you feel that somehow that will be connected with your new business, which isn't yet started but you have no apprehensions in your mind about it. You also feel that you're getting fired from your desk job was something that will take you closer to having your own business. People who believe in the law of attraction staunchly build such pivots in their minds. Then their entire life is focused on this pivot. This is what drives them and motivates them into coming closer to their goals. Chapter 5, The Secret and Your Money. Summary. Life revolves around money, so it cannot fail to be part of a discussion as poignant as how to apply the secret in our life. Here we take a cynical look at money and see where it fits in within this realm. The secret and your money. The secret can bring you money, but it is not about money. It is certainly not about empty, proud, cold, wealth that stems out of the greed mindset. This is about fulfilling your purpose, which is expressed in your deepest, most treasured dreams. The dream of your heart is your purpose on earth. Our society tends to make us jump right to careers when we hear that, but it might not be a career at all. Your passion may be to parent your child. Your passion may be to be the best friend you can possibly be. Your passion may be to give enough that 1,000 new wells get built in parts of the world that currently have none. None of these things can happen without money. Money starts companies. Money builds bridges and roads. Money brings the security and freedom a parent needs to focus on parenting. Money brings the resources for philanthropy. If you fall into the trap of believing that money is evil, then only evil people will have money. Do we really want our beliefs to ensure that only pimps, drug dealers, warmongers, and cheats enjoy abundance while the good people of the world struggle? Of course not. That would be silly. Yet if money is all that you focus on, money will always elude you. For one thing, we tend to store a lot of mental garbage when it comes to money. We tend to have a lot of fears about money. Fear is always counterproductive. Bypass money entirely. It's not important here. It's necessary, but it's not all that important to you. Joseph Campbell said, "If you follow your bliss, the money will follow." Get settled with the idea that you need money to achieve your dreams and that there's nothing wrong with that. Then ignore it. Turn your attention to your bliss. That is where the secret will begin to work for you. That is where your emotions will supercharge your thoughts into the change you need. Chapter 6, Wealth Manifestation Through the Law of Attraction. Summary. The 5 steps you need in order to manifest wealth applying the law. Wealth manifestation through the law of attraction. Here are the 5 things you need to do in order to manifest the wealth that you are expecting through the law of attraction. Believe. The first step is to ingrain the thought of wealth in your subconscious. You have to think staunchly that you will be able to attain the large amount of wealth that you are hoping for. Visualize. It is very important to actually visualize the wealth. You have to think that the wealth is already in your bank account and now what you will do with it. Begin thinking as if you are planning what to do with the money. You don't have it already, but that's not the point. The law of attraction tells that you have to be strong in your belief, and visualization is the best way to do that. Be grateful. Taking your belief one step forward, you must actually start thanking the universe for granting the wealth to you. Well, it has not already granted you the wealth, But you have no aspersions at all about that happening. You are darn sure that you will get the wealth, and so being grateful is the next logical thing. Listen to your heart. Your heart will tell you a lot of things at this point. It will tell you to do particular things. Do not stifle any of these voices. Listen to them intently. Act upon them. You have to make sure that you listen to every voice, because any of them could be the one voice that opens the doors of opportunity to you. Continue your actions. Never give up, never relent. Remember that stopping is a sign of weakness. You don't want the universe to understand that your belief is faltering. You want it to know that you will keep up no matter what. Sooner or later, your supreme confidence is going to bring the wealth at your door. The Secret Riches Visualization Tool. Chapter 7, Applications to Internet Marketing. Summary. Find out what the most important components to consider are in applying the secret to your business. Applications to Internet Marketing. When you set out to make money on the Internet, you are going to play in a very equalized pool. Everybody goes to the same Internet. Everybody gets the same Google, the same Facebook, the same Squidoo. Any two people can find the same forums and the same article directories. At any given time there are hundreds of thousands of people from all over the world that can make you a success, potential customers, mentors, and business partners. It is all there. You just have to find it or use it correctly. Yet 99% of all internet businesses fail. In spite of having little or no startup costs, in spite of having little or no overhead, the businesses do not turn out the sorts of results that people had hoped for, and so they give up. They go on to something else. They decide it doesn't work. They go out skeptical and they leave certain that only scammers and the very lucky make money from home on the internet. Yet there are hundreds of thousands of people who are making money on the internet, making good money. They follow high ethical standards. They provide real products of real value. They live the kinds of lives they want to live. This is why the secret applies to internet marketing so strongly. If you believe in yourself and what you are doing, you won't throw in the towel when traffic to your site isn't what you'd envisioned. You'll figure out how to make it better. You won't balk at the sudden writer's block you get when trying to make a solid forum post to help get your name out there. You'll learn ways to beat the block. You won't make a slipshod effort that looks slipshod and feels slipshod and produces few, if any, results. You'll learn what works and you'll apply what works. You'll do what you love and love what you're doing because that is what you set out to do, and through the secret you understand that every resource you need to make it happen is in the universe generally and on the internet with you in particular. You'll constantly be thinking, hey, I'm as capable as the next guy. If he could pick up the skills, so can I. You'll pick up the skills and you'll keep right on going. There is a time delay between each component of the secret, your thoughts and decisions, then your actions, and then the results of your actions. You might not wake up today with thousands of site visitors. Your efforts today might not produce immediate results. Quit training yourself to the immediate result. Acting like you already have what you want gives you the strength and power you need to keep taking the actions that will get you there. Acting like what you want is always in the future will place your actions in a different place, in a place where they are not getting done and you are reading worthless emails to distract yourself instead. Chapter 8, The Secret and Your Health. Summary. We now speak about a very practical aspect of human life. How the secret helps us to enjoy good health and, thus, a long life. The secret and your health. If your body is raging in pain right now, it may be harder, initially, for you to try to figure out how to apply the secret to your own healing. Even committing it to prayer, instead of visualization and mental exercises, might seem insurmountable. But do not fear. You will have success here too. Write it down. Know it for fact. Remember what you were like before your health declined and fixate on it. Sometimes, we have ill health because we believe we should. We've hit a certain age, and our parents developed a health issue at that age, so we develop a health issue at that age. Sometimes, we have ill health because we've been taking actions which treat ourselves badly. Whether you are conscious of it or not, eating an entire box of chocolates reflects some sort of belief about yourself which manifests itself in your waistline and messed up blood sugar. Jumping up on an injured leg reveals some other belief about yourself. Sometimes, we have ill health because there is some unacknowledged anger, resentment, grief, or thought in our mind which we won't let out any other way. It is time to let it all go. Time to release it. Use the secret to make a declaration of independence from these issues today. Speak life over your body. Declare yourself healed. Pay attention to your body when your body feels at its best. Pay attention to that which makes your body feel good. Focus on the actions that will help your body. With a new, renewed focus, eat foods which energize you and nurture you. Love yourself enough to focus on getting the rest your body needs to heal. Let go of the issues inside of you which are expressing themselves as aches and pains. They do not have any power over you anymore. You have discovered the secret, and you have a new and better way. Take a deep breath and tell God, tell the universe, and tell your heart, you are healed. Chapter 9, Balancing the Inner Self and the Outer Self. Summary. If you really follow the law of attraction, you have to work at striking the right balance between your inner and outer selves. Balancing the inner self and the outer self. One of the most significant applications of the law of attraction is to balance our inner and outer selves. Our inner self is our consciousness. It is the way we think and behave. This is where the law of attraction begins to take effect. The law of attraction starts manifesting itself when we think, and that begins in our inner self. Our outer self is characterized by our action. The way we act and implement our thought processes is how our outer self functions. If we have to make the best utilization of the law of attraction into our life, then it is essential that we learn how to create the balance between our inner and outer selves. It is vital that we put into action what we think. What begins as a thought manifestation must get converted into action. If you were to just think and sit about getting a new house, it isn't going to happen. Yes, if your thoughts are strong, if your belief is strong, the universe will begin aligning itself toward making things happen. But now, it is you who has to act. If you don't even lift a finger, things aren't going to happen. Now, you have to put your outer self into action. This is when the positive energies that have been created start taking shape and things begin happening. The problem with most of us is that we use our inner self to think and believe. We say so often that we want to do a particular thing, but only a few of us actually put our outer selves into action mode. The law of attraction will make things happen. But it will restrict itself to aligning things in a particular way. The rest is your call. It will make you confident about doing certain things, and that is what will influence the people around you, and things will happen positively for you. But the main thing for that to happen is that you have to take the initiative and act. Balancing the inner self and the outer self. Chapter 10, Improving Your Future. One of the most significant applications of the law of attraction is to balance our inner and outer selves. Our inner self is our consciousness. It is the way we think and behave. This is where the law of attraction begins to take effect. The law of attraction starts manifesting itself when we think, and that begins in our inner self. Our outer self is characterized by our action. The way we act and implement our thought processes is how our outer self functions. If we have to make the best utilization of the law of attraction into our life, then it is essential that we learn how to create the balance between our inner and outer selves. It is vital that we put into action what we think. What begins as a thought manifestation must get converted into action. If you were to just think and sit about getting a new house, it isn't going to happen. Yes, if your thoughts are strong, if your belief is strong, the universe will begin aligning itself toward making things happen. But now, it is you who has to act. If you don't even lift a finger, things aren't going to happen. Now, you have to put your outer self into action. This is when the positive energies that have been created start taking shape and things begin happening. The problem with most of us is that we use our inner self to think and believe. We say so often that we want to do a particular thing, but only a few of us actually put our outer selves into action mode. The law of attraction will make things happen. But it will restrict itself to aligning things in a particular way. The rest is your call. It will make you confident about doing certain things, and that is what will influence the people around you, and things will happen positively for you. But the main thing for that to happen is that you have to take the initiative and act. Summary. Successful people are always people with foresight. It is imperative for us to understand this and improve our lives, not just for today, but also for the future. Let us analyze the secret's approach to this. Improving your future. Imagine a world where every person was using the secret to follow their bliss, a world where every person was fulfilling their purpose, reaching out to help others, and allowing the will of God to flow through them to create miracles. Chances are it would look a lot like heaven. Every person safe. Every person holding everything they need. You might want a huge house on the hill. Another person might feel abundant, at ease, and happy with a small, quiet, rural cottage. There is no need to fear competition, no need to imagine that you must profit at anyone else's expense. You must attract the situations that will allow you to profit at everyone's benefit. Does the world have to be a dark place, full of wars, full of abuse, full of pain, full of madness? Are we somehow special, just able to ignore our way into good things by focusing on the positive? No. Until others are ready to move forward, it is our responsibility to make our thoughts create positive change. It is our responsibility to take the actions and be receptive to the ideas that are going to make the whole of the world grow. Bless others. Show gratitude for all of the ways the world has moved forward. Once people believed slavery was perfectly normal. Now, even though there are people who practice slavery illicitly, we all generally understand it is wrong. Even those who engage in slavery understand it to be wrong. That all began with the thoughts of those who believed things should be better. We all have the ability to move forward in this fashion. We cannot fear the way the world is today. We cannot sit back and hope for some bright future that never quite arrives. We must work together to create heaven on earth now. We have all the tools we need. Conclusion. These tools and devices have it in them to improve your health and your wealth, making you a powerful social magnet. Unleash their potential on your life. All the best to you. Dan Johnson http://danjmarketing.com